With the news, my name is Alan Mwale. The headlines. The family of former President Edgar Lungu has announced the suspension of plans to return his remains to the family home, citing breaches of prior funeral agreements with government. Southern Province Minister Credo Nanjua has praised On Call Africa, a non-governmental organization, for transforming the Sipa and Chidi rural health posts into fully equipped centers of excellence. Environmental health advocate has called upon councillors across the country to proactively support local authorities in enforcing bylaws aimed at curbing public nuisances. In sports, Roan United Football Club yesterday made a bright start in their FAS Division 1 promotion playoffs with a win over Nangweshi Pirates at Edwin Imboela Stadium in Lusaka. We have the news in detail shortly.
The news, 88.5 Sun FM.
And now the news in detail. The repatriation and burial of late former President Edgar Chagwa Lungu's remains uncertain after his family cancelled the planned program, citing alleged inconsistencies and a breach of agreement by the government. Family spokesperson Makebi Zulu announced that during an initial joint meeting between the family and government, both parties had agreed that the former president's remains would be repatriated and lie in state at his residence on the same day. The arrangement was based on the understanding that any further decisions regarding the funeral would be made in consultation between the two sides. However, Mr. Zulu expressed regret, accusing government agencies of undermining the agreement through the unilateral issuance of notices, statements, and funeral programs without consulting the family. Mr. Zulu has since questioned the government's willingness to honor the agreement, stating that confidence in the process has been lost.
However, on the 17th of June 2025, the Secretary to the Cabinet issued a statement restricting people from receiving or at least witnessing the arrival of the remains of the former president. This notice was issued without consultation with the family, and further, no opportunity whatsoever was given to the family to indicate whom they wished to invite, if at all the attendance was by invitation, nor were they given any chance to say anything as regards the said invitation. When the Secretary to the Cabinet was engaged, he only stated that there were security concerns, which concerns still have not been stated to the family.
Meanwhile, Betha Lungu, the late president's sister, has stressed that the family's priority is to finalize the funeral program to prevent further delays and confusion. She confirmed that Makebi Zulu has full authority to speak on behalf of the family.
Tifuna tinkale pasi tikambilane munga banja tizive viti kuti tichite osatiseo te banja tuodoserana na boma tifuna kuti tinkale pamozi tike maganizo pamozi lomba tikunga kuva kuti mailo statement ya chinja lomba seo te banja titorepo chinji so pora vila vonse hivyo. That's why Makebi Zulu nievunu pasa mpamvu neo ne sister wao kuti atiravirire ku ziko la Zambia viti kuti vikonkepo vitufuna kuti tichite.
Southern Province Minister Credo Nanjua has praised On Call Africa, a non-governmental organization, for transforming the Siakasipa and Chidi rural health posts into fully equipped centers of excellence. Speaking at commissioning ceremonies held in Kazungula and Zimba districts, Mr. Nanjua stated that the 5.7 million kwacha investment is a strategic move to bring rural health facilities in line with national healthcare standards. He noted that these developments mark a critical advancement in strengthening healthcare infrastructure and service delivery across the province. Southern Province, he added, has long faced persistent health challenges, including elevated rates of teenage pregnancy, maternal mortality, and infectious disease problems that are exacerbated by limited access to quality medical care. Minister Nanjua expressed optimism that a collaboration with organizations like On Call Africa will help address these long-standing issues, ultimately improving the health and well-being of communities in the region.
Despite transitioning from a low to lower middle-income country in 2011, Zambia continues to face numerous challenges in healthcare provision. The health system remains largely underfunded, understaffed and under-resourced, with rural population bearing the brunt of these difficulties. It is for this reason that On Call Africa, a non-governmental organization, has actively engaged in strengthening healthcare services in rural Zambia since its formation in 2010, focusing its efforts on southern and western provinces. During the commissioning of the upgraded posts in Kazungula and Zimba district, Southern Province Minister Credo Nanjua called for more partnerships to help address these persistent challenges. Mr. Nanjua said this in a speech delivered on his behalf by Provincial Assistant Secretary for Administration, Beston Mbozi.
On behalf of the government of the Republic of Zambia and the Ministry of Health, I once again extend my heartfelt appreciation to Africa. Your unwavering support brings to life the President's vision of a Zambia where everyone everywhere has the opportunity to live a long life.
And Director of Health Services at the Zimba District Health Office disclosed that between 2024 and the first quarter of 2025, the health posts recorded an 85% rate of teenage pregnancies, averaging 7 cases per month, with only 3 institutional deliveries.
We have about 2,500 women of childbearing age. We have an expected number of pregnancies per year at 440. Yes, until now, guests of honor, service delivery has been hampered by lack of proper infrastructure for both antenatal and adolescent health services.
On the other hand, Kasonde Mutuna, PDU Assistant Director for Enhanced Public Services, stated that the government is always pleased with such partnerships aimed at reducing maternal and neonatal deaths by bringing healthcare closer to people who need it.
The PDU has been proud to support the Ministry of Health in initiatives aimed at improving maternal health, and clearly today shows us that this cannot happen if we don't all come together. As we hand over the Chidi Health Facility today, I want to emphasize the importance of community involvement in this journey.
Meanwhile, On Call Africa CEO Nkandu Chikonde noted that such health facility upgrades are only made possible because of the sound policies implemented by the new Don government.
Through this, we're trying to address the work in isolation that happens around community health system strengthening. Guests of honor, ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to stand here and say the Ministry of Health has entrusted us with piloting, training, supervision, supporting, equipping, and incentivizing.
For Chief Smotachela, the emphasis was on urging the members of the public, particularly the youth and women, not to shun services available at health facilities.
For coming to the aid of our mothers, especially around this place, who are made to travel long distances from here to access a maternity facility somewhere in Kabanga. I'm aware On Call Africa is not just here in Chidi, dotted around the chiefdom, and will forever remain indebted to your services that you are offering to the chiefdom.
Improving healthcare provisions in rural areas remain essential for building healthier communities, reducing preventable deaths, and ensuring that all citizens, regardless of location, have access to quality medical services. Sustainable partnerships, such as that of On Call Africa with the Ministry of Health and continued investment in rural health infrastructure, are key to achieving this goal. Augustine Kapambwe, reporting for Sun TV News in Zimba District, Southern Province.
An environmental health advocate has called upon councillors across the country to proactively support local authorities in enforcing bylaws aimed at curbing public nuisances. Simon Mwewa expressed concern over what he described as a lackluster attitude by some councillors in promoting responsible solid waste management and ensuring that trading is confined to designated areas within their wards.
They do nothing, you know. The only thing councillors are interested in is lining their pockets. They don't care about their communities. They don't care about their wards. If local government calls for a meeting to instruct councillors, go and sensitize the people in your wards that we're going in this direction. Councillors don't do it. Why? Because they don't care, you know. And that's the problem, is that we've got a pool of councillors who are supposed to be representing the well-being of their wards so that their wards are functioning. They're not doing it because they're too busy focusing on lining their own pockets.
The Lusaka Regional Immigration Office conducted a successful operation in Kabwata, Chilenje, Mutendere, Chamba Valley, Bauleni, and Chalala, resulting in the apprehension of 42 individuals, 39 males and 3 females for various immigration offenses. Those apprehended include 20 Burundians, 9 Congolese and 4 Rwandese, 3 Tanzanians and 1 Mozambican national for offenses including unlawful stay and trading without immigration permits. A female Zambian was apprehended for obstructing immigration officers in the execution of their duties. All the suspects have been detained at Kamulanga Police Station pending further investigations and possible prosecution. In the same operation, 2 Eritrean nationals holding employment permits were found working in a retail shop contrary to their permit conditions. A Myanmar national, a study permit holder, and a Lebanese national on a residence permit were found working illegally. The department has confiscated all the permits in question and the holders have been summoned to immigration offices for further formalities. This is contained in a statement issued by Chief Public Relations Officer Namati Nshinka. We take a break and return with sports.
It's time for the biggest club football showdown this June on Top Star for just 210 kwacha on Antenna Classic OD Smart. Kick off the FIFA Club World Cup on Sunday, 15th June with European giants Bayern Munich, Auckland City at 18 hours and Paris Saint-Germain versus Atletico Madrid at 21 hours. Conclude match day 1 on Wednesday, 18th June when Manchester City battles Wydad Casablanca at 18 hours and Real Madrid versus Saudi Arabia's Al Hilal at 21 hours. Later, catch match day 2 action as Messi leads Inter Miami against FC Porto on Thursday, 19th June at 21 hours and African giants Sundowns versus Dortmund on Saturday, 21st June at 18 hours. Quickly, get your Topstar decoder now and catch every goal from the group stage to the final, all live on World Football. Topstar, enjoy digital life.
In sports, Aron United Football Club yesterday made a bright start to their First Division 1 promotion playoffs with a win over Nangweshi Pirates at Edwin Imbowela Stadium in Lusaka. The Copperbelt Division 1 winners beat their Western Province counterparts 1-0 through a 67th minute goal by Brian Kajima. But Ron are second in Group B after Division 1 Lusaka champions Makeni All Stars beat Teta FC from Northern Province 3-1 in the day's opening game at Imboila. Makeni came from 1 down after an hour of action when Teta took the lead in the 57th minute through John Kabwe. Peter Soneka equalized in the 65th minute before Penia Stonga put Makeni ahead in the 79th minute. In Group A at Municipal Sports Club, Solwezi Academy and Luapula Province winners Mathcat both won by a 1-0 scoreline. John Mwansa scored Mathcat's goal in the 15th minute against Crown FC of Central Province. Vincent Chonya struck for Solwezi in the 20th minute in their win over Muchinga Blue Eagles of Muchinga Province. And that brings us to the end of this edition of the news. To end, we'll recap on the headlines. The family of former President Edgar Lungu has announced the suspension of plans to return his remains to the family home, citing breaches of prior funeral agreements with government. Southern Province Minister Credo Nanjoa has praised On Call Africa, a non-governmental organization, for transforming the Siakasipa and the Chidi rural health posts into fully equipped centers of excellence. An environmental health advocate has called upon councillors across the country to proactively support local authorities in enforcing bylaws aimed at curbing public nuisances. In sports, Roan United Football Club yesterday made a bright start in their FAS Division 1 promotion playoffs with a win over Nangweshi Pirates at Edwin Mbowela Stadium in Lusaka. That's where we end. My name is Alan Moll. Do have a great one, and stay tuned to Sun FM TV.
The News, 88.5 Sun FM.